is really fear is at its core, but it's all the other negative feelings, anger, hatred, all of those things, and grief. Grief is one of the lowest vibration emotions. So that, with the fact that you feel that as a wet blanket, is a perfect analogy. Until we can get past the worst of our grief, we are basically so far energetically, vibrationally from those we love, whether human or animal, that you really can't get through. That's why most mediums will say 6 months. Call me in 6 months after the death,
yes.
and I'll talk. And I'll talk about it. Yes.
Yes, and I know that a lot of my clients have told me and shared with me that they are worried that their grief is going to harm their pet on the other side or in the afterlife, or keep them from moving forward on their spiritual path. And that's just not the case, Roberta. The animals are fine on the other side. We don't have to worry about them. They are very in tune to us and our emotions, so when we're sad, obviously they can pick up on that. And when we're happy, they can pick up on that too. But grieving for your pet is okay, and it's perfectly fine to grieve, and I encourage grief. This is how we move into healing. We have to honor those feelings. It's an expression of great love, having a great amount of grief. This is truly somebody that you have loved and cared for sometimes years and years and years. You deserve to grieve, and your body and your soul and your spirit needs to grieve. Let it happen. You're not going to cause your pet any pain from your grief. You're not going to keep them from traveling forward on their spiritual journey. Of course, they want you to heal as soon as you can. But don't try to shorten your grief or beat yourself up for it, or let other people tell you to get over it. That's the one that drives me crazy.
Yeah, it does. So how do you get over your grief? Everyone's short answer: learn where they are and what they're doing. This is true with our loved ones who are human and have transitioned, and our loved ones who are pets and have transitioned. When you know for certain that your loved one, A, is fine, and B, is waiting for you, and C, loves you just as much and forgives you if there was ever a need to forgive you. When you know all of that for certain in your heart, that takes care of 80 or 90% of your grief. You will see them again. You will hold your pet, and your pet will remember everything about your life together, all the little secret things you and he or she shared. So when you really get that, it's not going to be raw. It won't be. When my parents transitioned, I already, of course, knew the truth. I didn't even cry. I was so glad for them. And I talked with them since, and we're going to get a very great reunion when we get there. Well, that's true with all of our loved ones. Isn't that beautiful? But it's true.
It really is, and well said, and it's something I think that most of my clients really found peace of mind just knowing that, hey, it's okay to grieve. It's okay to feel that pain when you lose a beloved pet. And sometimes, like we mentioned earlier, they grieve more deeply for a pet than they have for a human loved one. No disrespect to the human loved one at all. It's just it's a different kind of love we have for our pets. It's a more intense love. It's this unconditional, almost, it's just difficult to even define it. It's so intense. And this really deserves the grief time and the time where you heal yourself and you learn to move forward in your life without that beloved pet by your side. And it's a process. It takes time. So take your time, grieve, and go through the steps and treat yourself well, and just try to end on a happy note. And this is what I tell my clients. Yes, it's fine to grieve, feel the pain, cry, do whatever you have to do, but try to end on a happy memory or something that pet did during your lifetime that would bring you joy, and post those happy pictures up around your house or somewhere that brings a smile to your face.
Yes.
That's how you can help yourself get through your grief and into a space of healing. And just know that the whole time you're doing this, your pet is right there with you, watching you go through all of these things.
Yes.
And they're right by your side. There's nowhere else they would rather be. You are and always have been the most important person in the world to your pets. And there is nowhere else they would rather be.
I have to say, I've talked with a number of pet communicators, and Karen seems to me to be the most expert I've ever talked with. I have a friend, long ago had a friend who used to call puppies pain in a fur coat, which is what they are, because when you go get the new puppy, you know that within 15 years, you're going to be in tears because the puppy will go home. They don't live that long compared to our lives. But that's all the more reason why we need people like Karen who can help us do the closure with the animals that we love so intensely. So tell me about guilt, because as I analyze all these, I get emails every day from people who have lost a pet. And as I analyze all those emails, I can't begin to tell you. I think they're all because I feel guilty. I should have done it differently, done something differently. Now, you must hear from pets whose parents are feeling that way. What do they say about, I didn't have taken him to the vet, or I didn't realize how sick she was, or all of that? What do they say to their beloved parents?
Well, truly, with every single communication session I have, I learn something new, and that's what I love about this, is we have barely scratched the surface for this communication process, especially with the afterlife. And I'm always wanting to find out more. I'm wanting to learn more from the animals. What can you tell me about the other side? What's it like over there? How do things work over there? Tell me, I want to learn. But one of the things that they share with me is this thing that we call guilt, and how attached we are to it, and
yes.
how not attached they are to
yes.
guilt.
Yes.
It's like, what? Here's like a typical response. What? What do you mean? How do I feel about them not doing the surgery? What? What do you mean about how I feel about them euthanizing me? What are you talking about?
Yes.
They don't see it that way. It's like this big aha moment where, I know for me anyway, because I carried stupid guilt with me for 30 years over a cat that I thought I was responsible for his death. I wasn't, but I thought I was. And the cat was like, what are you talking about? You had nothing to do with that. Here's what I tell my clients. You are no more responsible for your pet's death than you were for their life, unless, of course, you set out to harm them in some way or to end their life. Then, of course, different story. But we know we don't do that. People don't do that. There's no way.
But they're happy to be brought to the vet, right? This dog
They are. They want us. They want us to help them because Mother Nature forces them, survival of the fittest, to stay in a body that they don't want to be in anymore and struggle. And so when we offer help to them, think about it, Roberta, it's coming from a place of love in our hearts, that we're trying to do the right thing for them, the best thing for them. We're not doing it to cause them harm. We're not doing it to end their life. We're not doing it to hurt them in any way. We're doing it because our hearts are breaking and we're trying to do what's best for our pet. They inherently know this, sense this above all else. So you are never held in contempt. You are never held responsible. The animals say it to me like this: thank you so much for helping me leave a body that was failing me.
Yes, yes. And
they came in.
If it was a little too soon, they don't say, "Oh, you should have waited a week." No.
And on that note, you bring up such a good point. I have so many pets tell me, my mom or dad waited too long.
Yes, that's right. That's what I hear too. Yes.
They waited too long. I was ready to go, and they kept me here too long, and I'm guilty of that. I've done that. I'll admit it. I was one of those people that would go to all these great lengths and surgeries and procedures and medications and shove them down their throat and inject them. And I did that. I'm one of those people who did that. I don't do it anymore because there is a natural process that the animals let us know. They let us know. They start acting weird. They go off their food. They're just not themselves. Their spark, that special thing about them, just isn't there anymore. They give us so many signs, but we go blind to those because we don't want that pain. So we turn it off. We pretend we don't see it. We act like, oh, no, they're just having a bad day. I have walked that walk. I have been in those shoes so many times.
But please, everybody, That's what they most of all want us to understand. Not only do they not blame them, but they're grateful. Everybody I've ever talked with who is the remotest pet communicator has said exactly the same thing. They want to go to the vet. They love us. They don't want to be in a body that's painful. They don't. If they're never going to get better, it's time to go. I mean, don't you think that's what they all say? Because everybody I ever talked to has said that.
Well, they don't have a sense of a long life is a successful life. They don't see that. In an animal's mind, the quality of the time here is more important than the quantity of the years they spend here. So humans see it the opposite. Oh, we have to have a long life to have a good and successful life.
Yeah.
Animals don't see it that way. They're all about the here, right now. How am I feeling at this moment? How is my life right now? They don't look at longevity as a must-have. That's a human concept and a human perception. Certainly not a pet's perception. And this is what I share with my beloved clients is I tell them, your pets came into this world with dignity, let them leave with dignity.
Oh, so, that's a wonderful point. Yes, exactly.
And help them maintain their dignity. Don't do it when they're in crisis. That's not fun for anyone. And help them leave when they're peaceful, when they're calm, when they're quiet. Yeah, they might have had another day or two or a week or two with you, but that doesn't matter in the big picture. That really doesn't matter. What happens is you help them leave when they're calm, when they're peaceful. You help them leave with dignity. They go out of this world like they came into this world, peacefully, quietly, surrounded by somebody that loves them and cares about them, that isn't in a panic state. You know how it is when we're trying to rush them to the vet and we think they're dying and, oh my gosh, we can't breathe.
That's painful. Exactly.
That's not good. That's not good for any of us. My blood pressure's going up right now just thinking about it. So don't do that. Take time with your pet.
Tell us your website. So because there are people who are going to want to reach out, I think, as soon as they hear you talk. How can they get in touch with you and get one of those wonderful responders?
My website is really easy. It's KarenAnderson.net. It's not the calm one. That's somebody else. KarenAnderson.net.
Easy.
And everything you could possibly want to know about me is on there. I probably share a little bit too much, but I figure more info is better than not enough info because I am totally transparent. I have nothing to hide. You can look up my past on my About page. You can see how I got here. That's the best way to reach me. And, of course, there's a contact page on there that has my email information, my phone contact. And that is the best way to get me. Of course, I'm on Facebook as well. I don't tweet because I can't figure it out, so I just auto-upload.
Only birds should be tweeting.
Post. Yes. I can't figure it out. I've tried it, and I just fail miserably, so I just gave up. I'm like, I'll just have it auto-load from Facebook. But that's the best way to reach me. And KarenAnderson.net. KarenAnderson.net.
Everyone. This has been fun, and we are going to have Karen back. There's a lot more she has to tell us. Karen, big hug. You have been terrific. Thank you. Thank you so much on behalf of everyone.
My pleasure, Roberta. Thank you. This is awesome. Let's do it again.
Don't you love this enthusiasm? Thank you so much. This has been Seek Reality with Roberta Grimes, and I'm really glad you were with us today. Please never forget that you are a powerful, eternal being. You never began and you never will end. And when you really understand what that means, your whole life will be transformed for the better. Next week, we're going to be talking with Cliff Taylor. Cliff is a Texas oil man, and he's worked in the oil business all over the world. And he also is one of many people now from all walks of life who are, as they feel the veil thinning, are developing their own ways to connect with spirit. And I like bringing people like Cliff to you because each of us resonates with the work of spirit in our own way. And among all these Seek Reality guests, there will probably be someone whose ideas and method will work for you. His new book is called Connections, and Cliff himself is really quite a character. So I think you'll enjoy getting to know him. Please join us next week. This week, we've been speaking with Karen Anderson. Karen is a very prominent animal communicator. Now you understand why. And she, as I say, she has the best email responder I've ever seen. I think that you are going to love getting to know her better. And if you ever need her help, she will be able to help you so beautifully. You don't have to live in pain. Your animal is fine. I don't care when it died. I don't care, who it is. All the animals